Alright, let's try it now. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Now we're live, okay. We are live on District Nation Show, a talk show about the Washington. It is officially the All-Star break with the Home Run Derby happening today. The last of the games happening yesterday. The Nationals did not get a win. They get swept by, let me check. They got swept by the Brewers. Slipped on that one. They lost 3-8, 5-6, and 8-1. No good games. They got outscored by a lot of runs, scoring 5 at most. Not what you want in the last series before the All-Star break. A change of management before the All-Star break. There's a lot to cover. And we'll get started by looking at the mid-season recap. Starting with a little bit of the standings, looking at the NL East. The Nationals are dead last, which is not great. The Nationals wanted to be better probably, but they do realize it's a rebuild. 38-58 record with a 3.96 win percent, 17 games out of first place. I think we can phone this one in. They're not going to win the division by this point. They're not going to make a wild card push. They're 9.5 games behind. The Braves are 9.5. Marlins are 7.5 games behind. This is for the wild card. The Mets are 2 ahead, so currently it's just looking pretty bad for the Nationals. Everyone else, it's looking pretty good in the NL East. I mean, we thought the Braves would be better, but obviously they weren't, as the Braves are in last, or in second to last. The Nationals are in last. So thanks to everyone who's here right now. And we're going to get started by looking at some stats also of the Nationals. So I'm going to pull up some stats, and we're going to look at some of the hitting stats first. Alright, here we go. Well, obviously James Wood is clearly the best hitter in almost every stat, but his average did go down last game after a pretty bad performance in the last series. In the game that I broadcast, he went 0 for 5, 4 strikeouts and a flyout. Not what you want from your 2-hitter or 3-hitter in most games. So James Wood, obviously, he's an all-star. 24 home runs, 69 RBIs on a 278 average, 12 stolen bases, 116 strikeouts. He leads the team in strikeouts, but funny, the 2 home run leaders are also the leaders in strikeouts. It's Nathaniel Lowe second, who has 14 home runs. He's a little bit behind Wood by 10 home runs. And Wood's going to be in the Home Run Derby that's happening tonight. We won't be live for that. We're going to be watching that. But Tuesday, tomorrow, for the Washington Nationals, 2 players in the All-Star game will be going live for that, which is going to be exciting. We're going to get to actually call a game. And the thing I have up on the board right now is the Padres Nationals game on ESPN. They show the ESPN stats, and we also have the live subscriber count at 13. So, looking. Now let's keep looking at some stats. Abrams at the end made a push to be an all-star, hitting 287. He led an average. I don't think he qualified for average, though he does actually. Abrams does qualify for average. He hit 287. Wood hit 278. Garcia 259. Lowe 227, and Josh Bell at 219. The OPSs are also pretty good. 915 from Wood, 836 from Abrams, 695. So there's a drop down from Abrams to Garcia. So your 2 standouts offensively are obviously Abrams and Wood. You need those guys to produce in the second half of the season to look for anything of any wins, which right now they aren't getting many. But if Abrams and Wood can produce together, then the Nationals will look very good offensively, hopefully, if they can get those 2 guys working. Now we'll look at some pitching stats, which sometimes you don't want to look at those, but there are 2 standouts in my opinion. First off, Mackenzie Gore, a 4-8 record with a 3.02 ERA, 19 games on the season, 110.1 innings pitched, 97 hits, 38 runs, 37 unearned, 11 home runs given up. He's hit 3 guys, 35 walks, and the standout is the 138 strikeouts. He has the most on the team by almost 50 strikeouts. He's easily the best pitcher on the team. There is no better than him, because he's throwing harder than last season. He's doing better on the mound. Guys are struggling against him. Stuff we didn't see in 2024. A big jump from 2024 to 2025. He also had a jump from 2023 to 2024 when he had a good season in 2024. But now he's an all-star. He obviously deserves it. He didn't vote in as the starting pitcher. There aren't votes for the pitchers. But if there was a vote, I believe he would have been 5th or 6th. And the second standout is Jake Irvin. Record-wise, he's 7-5. So he has a winning record, surprisingly, with a 4.58 ERA. 20 games, 116 innings worked, 112 hits, 63 runs, only 59 of them earned. 22 home runs have been given up. He's hit 4 guys, 38 walks, and 83 strikeouts with a 1.29 whip. 2.48 against him, and just to put that in perspective, Gore has a 2.36 average against him. So all good stats from them. Good stats from those 2 guys. Everyone else, it's pretty bad. So if you're wondering right now, the draft is starting up at 4:10 again, which is, it'll start up. The Nationals had the first pick, which we'll talk about in a little bit. We're going to follow the draft real quickly. But the Nationals didn't take who I thought it'd be. If you saw some of the posts I made, I thought it was going to be Cade Anderson. But the Nationals are in rebuild mode. And just for some World Baseball Classic news, Cal Raleigh's going to join the team. They just announced he'll be on that team. So the USA is looking really good. Anyway, the draft is live right now. We're going to pull up the draft right now. That's what I want to do right now. Because it's interesting looking at some of the Nationals picks. I'm just going to get that up. Here we go. Here's a 2025 draft tracker. But it was Eli Willits for the Nationals. Number 1 overall pick. He's 17. That's really good. I mean, getting drafted at age 17, being drafted, that's actually really good for him. Good for him. He did something that has never been done before, the youngest guy ever drafted, which is really interesting that the Nationals would have to do that, but they are in rebuild mode. So the Nationals are going to draft some younger guys, let them build up. I think that Eli Willits, they're hoping, can be a franchise shortstop. Pick some other guys, but Willits is the standout as he's the first round overall pick. Some of the other guys that were predicted, you could have thought about putting like Cade Anderson there, Ethan Holiday, but they obviously would have been expensive. It is a rebuild. Next year, you're bringing in a new GM and possibly a new manager. Hopefully, they bring in a new manager. Miguel Cairo has not been doing a good job as the manager. So, we'll look at that. Now we're going to look at some scores from yesterday. Take a break from all the Nats talk. Look at some scores from yesterday's games. Look at some of them. We'll look at the scores first off, then we'll look at some closer ones. So first off, the Brewers beat the Nationals 8-1. We know about that game. Peralta got the win, Irvin got the loss. The Red Sox beat the Rays. That was a sweep of the series. The win went to Bello. Pepio got the loss. Chapman got his 17th save. The Marlins and the Orioles. The Marlins crushed them 11-1. And then the Cubs beat the Yankees 4-1. Imanaga got the win. And then Rockies and Reds played. The Rockies lost 4-2. Reds getting the win. Mariners and Tigers played. The Mariners won 8-4. And then the Mets and the Royals played. The Royals beat the Mets 3-2. In a Texas matchup, the Rangers played the Astros, and the Rangers won 5-1. And then the Pirates and the Twins played. Pirates got that win 2-1. And the Guardians and the White Sox played. Guardians got the win 6-5. The Braves and the Cardinals played. The Cardinals got a win. And then the game that we were following closely during the broadcast, the Dodgers and the Giants. That was a 5-2 score. Blue Jays and Athletics played. Athletics got the win 6-3. Then the D-backs and the Angels played. That was a 5-1 game to the D-backs. Then finally the Phillies and the Padres played. And the Phillies got the win 2-1. Strom got a save in that game. We'll start by looking at the Phillies and Padres game. It was a 2-1 win. And Rising Rhinos here. What up, Rising Rhino? If you're wondering, we're just doing some talk about some baseball here. We were just looking at some scores, so I'm thinking about looking at the Phillies and Padres game because I am going to be calling those games this weekend as JJ's probably stepping away, so I'm going to call them the 3 games for him because there's more Phillies fans than Nationals fans on YouTube, so that's going to be my job. So we'll look at the Phillies and the Padres games. Rhinos here now. It was a 2-1 game, a really close game. The first run in the game was the Phillies back in the first inning. That run came off of Bryson Stott reaching on an error that brought Bryce Harper in to score. Then the other runs in the game, Jose Iglesias, the former Met, scored. That was a hit. Good luck, good luck. Thank you, Rising Rhino. We will I'm excited to call some good games because I've been calling Nats ball. It hasn't been fun. I got to call my closest game a couple days ago with the Nationals and the Brewers playing. The Brewers walked it off the guy I have on the photo here, Finnegan, who's up. Finnegan gave up a walk-off. So, I mean, I got a good game. That's something I wanted. I got the good game, not the way I saw it. And then, the top of the 8th of the Phillies game, Real Muto doubled that brought in Bryce Harper, so Harper was both runs. It was a 2-1 final between the Phillies and the Padres. So we'll be seeing the Phillies this weekend. Disappointing we're not going to get to see the Nationals play, but I think they're playing... I believe they're playing the Padres. So, yeah, it's on there right now. I ignored it, but the Nationals are going to play the Padres. I think the Padres are going to get that win. I'm being honest here. I don't see the Nationals getting that win. And if you are a football fan, check out Rising Rhino. Rhino covers football. Right now he's covering CFL and the European League of Football. He's also calling some WNBA. I'll be stopping by for that. Stopping by for the Fever broadcast. Seeing Caitlin Clark play. That'll be very interesting in my opinion. One of the best female basketball players. So now we'll look a little bit closer at the first round draft pick for the Nationals. I'm very excited to look into this guy a little bit. Even though he wasn't exactly who we wanted, we got a good play out of it. Looks like they do have some other picks in. But Eli Willits is the big guy we're looking at right now. Whoop whoop from Rising Rhino. I am coming. And, oh yeah, by the way, happy birthday. It's his birthday on Tuesday. So if you're stopping in for his stream, make sure to wish him a happy birthday. So Eli Willits, he's a high school guy out of Oklahoma, similar to Ethan Holiday, who's also a high schooler. They're similar. Not the biggest WNBA guy, but I'll give it a whirl. Yeah, this winter I'm doing the same. I'm going to cover some NBA games. Going to cover some Wizards basketball, probably. Yeah. I mean, basketball's basketball, so I don't think there's going to be too much of a difference between NBA and WNBA. Let me check what date that is so we can get the shout-out in. Can't find it right here. We got some time. Rising Rhino, one of the top things. Got a lot of football streams on here. Yeah, that's for tomorrow. Fever versus Sun. I think I'm going to take the Fever on that matchup. Go Fever. Yeah, we got the Rhino in here. Just give him one of those. Got something for you here. Yeah, WNBA basketball. Never actually sat down and watched a game, so listening might be different for me, but never sat down and actually watched one. Yeah. So more on Eli Willits. He's only 17. He's the youngest draft pick ever made. The second youngest is Ken Griffey Jr. Interesting fact, a junior was the second guy. Eli Willits, he went to Fort Cobb Braxton High School in Oklahoma. He's a shortstop. I think the Nationals are going to want to make him their franchise shortstop. And a guy like him, he can be a franchise shortstop, build off of a guy like Eli Willits, bring up some of the other guys in the farm. And Rising Rhino's reaction to WNBA, it's something. Yeah, we'll see. At least, I believe Connecticut's on, I'm wondering, that's not Angel Reese's team, right? Because if it is, then that'd be an interesting matchup, because I know Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they're constantly going at it a little bit, so I'm wondering, is that her team or is it not? Yeah. 8 p.m. tomorrow. If you're vertical, it's 8 p.m. 7:45. For all you computers, you can get on, watch Rhino, call some WNBA basketball. And on Eli Willits, he reclassed from 26 up to 25. So he is the youngest true prospect. He's only 17. So it's a 17-year-old getting picked first overall. Reese is on the Chicago Sky. Okay. I'll remember that. Hopefully we can tune in for a Chicago Sky versus Fever game. That'd actually be really interesting. You gotta tune into one of those, see how they interact with each other. I want to see, because I heard that the Fever gave Caitlin Clark an enforcer or something. That's what I heard. So maybe it'll be a good game. Don't think WNBA games are ever going to end up in fights. I don't think NBA games really have a chance to end up in fights. So a couple more things to cover. We'll look closely at another MLB game. We'll look at some of the matchups, and also the lineups for the All-Star game came out today. The starting lineups, we'll go through those real quickly just to take a look. So for the NL, the home team is going to be Shohei Ohtani leading off the designated hitter. Batting second is going to be Ronald Acuna Jr. He's playing left field. Ketel Marte, the second baseman, is hitting third. Freddie Freeman is the cleanup hitter from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Freeman's playing first base. Manny Machado, the Padres' third baseman, he is hitting fifth. Batting sixth is the catcher, Will Smith. Batting seventh is going to be Kyle Tucker. Wait, is that Kyle Tucker? I did not know Tucker starting, and then Francisco Lindor hitting eighth. Playing shortstop and batting ninth. In center field, Pete Crow Armstrong. And a quick note on Tucker, I think James Wood was robbed of the starting position. I think that James Wood should have started for the All-Star team. That's my opinion. He should have been the starter. Easily. I think that Wood is better than PCA. He might not be in the field, but we're going to compare the hitting stats. Home run-wise, I think Wood is better. But in the end, I think Wood deserved it. Wood's in the home run derby. I think most of the derby guys should be in the starting lineup. That includes Cal Raleigh. He deserves a spot in the starting lineup. I believe he is. Yeah, Raleigh's hitting fourth. He's a switch hitter, but I just want to pull up these stats. Compared to James Wood to Pete Crow Armstrong. So James Wood, 278. Pete Crow Armstrong, 265. 25 home runs for PCA, 24 for Wood. And then 67 runs for PCA, 59 for Wood. 12 stolen bases for Wood, 27 for PCA. But they're two different players. On-base percentage for PCA, 302. He doesn't draw walks like Wood does. Wood, 278, 381 on-base percentage. So I think it's obvious that the better player is Wood, because you'd rather people getting on base. People doing that. That's what's going to get you some good stuff when you get on base a lot. So if anyone has any opinions on Wood or PCA, I am biased, as I'm a Nats fan, but I believe it should have been Wood. So I think James Wood obviously deserved to be a starter. Last season he wasn't as good. PCA had last season. Let's look at Pete Crow Armstrong's 2024 stats real quickly. Yeah, he didn't do much better than Wood did. 10 home runs with a 237 batting average. Wood, he hit 264 last season. And Pete Crow Armstrong played in 2023, 2024, and now 2025. I think that was Wood's spot in that lineup. I think James Wood should be starting. Wood should be starting, and I can't make an argument for Mackenzie Gore. He's not as good as Paul Skeens, so I can't even dive into that. I don't want to dive into that. But another argument I will make is C.J. Abrams being an all-star, because I think that C.J. Abrams was robbed, and also there was a lot of robs. The player voting by fans is not working. It is a popularity race. Guys like Shohei Ohtani will always be all-stars, while the littler guys, even Trey Turner deserved to be an all-star, and Trey Turner's not on that roster. Trey Turner being a former Nat, I believe he deserved a spot on that team. He deserves a spot every year except for maybe 2023. But I think that Abrams was robbed. 287, 353 on-base percentage, 836 OPS, 12 home runs, 94 hits. And in the field, he's a good player. Guys like that should be all-stars. When you have a guy like that, they deserve to be an all-star. But he's not. So it might be because they're on the Nationals. They're in rebuild mode. They're not trying to win. Looking at their record, they're not the best team. They're one of the worst teams, in fact. But I believe that if you're in rebuild mode, that should not affect people knowing you. Because player voting, they're voting from the most popular teams. The starting lineups, they're from popular teams. Ohtani, the Dodgers. Acuna Jr., the Braves, he's popular. Ketel Marte, one of the only second basemen. I voted Ahmed Rosario many times. Manny Machado, popular, Padres. Will Smith, catcher, Dodgers. Kyle Tucker, Cubs, they're popular because they're old. Same with PCA. Lindor, Mets, he's all flashy. He has a spot. Abrams could have done that if you were on that type of team. We didn't even get to the AL lineups, but I'll get to that now. As we do have 3 views total. Thank you so much to everyone who's tuned in at all. This first episode of Nats Talk will be ending in just a short moment. Just want to do this quickly to try it out. Try something new. So, quickly we're going to go look at the AL starting lineup. I'll make my talk on them, which I've already gone off about the NL a little bit. Hitting first is going to be Gleyber Torres, playing second base. I didn't even believe that he was still good at baseball. He plays for the Tigers now. Batting second in left field is going to be Riley Green. Batting third, the right fielder, Aaron Judge. Batting fourth, who's in the home run derby, the number 1 seed with 34 home runs, Cal Raleigh. Batting fifth is going to be the first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. In the DH position, batting sixth is going to be Ryan O'Hearn. Batting seventh, and third base, Junior Camarino. Batting 8th in center field, Javier Baez making a comeback and batting 9th. At shortstop is going to be Jacob Wilson. He is a athletic. Don't know how he got voted on. I am very surprised that man got voted onto the All-Star team. He is on the Athletics. People must know him because he's flashy. So quickly, Javier Baez's comeback. Javier Baez did not have a good season for the past few years. He's been playing for Detroit. The batting averages have been terrible. He hasn't even been getting full seasons. 184, 222, 238, 265. Not good. Before, he was 281, 290, 273, 289. Great averages. Now, in 2025, 310. 10 home runs. Great stats from him. He had a great comeback, and he's playing center field now. Good for him. He found a new position. He found his way onto the All-Star team. He made a comeback at the age of 32. So good for him, and good for all the All-Stars who are starting in the game. Right now, they're talking to Pete Crow Armstrong on him. The Home Run Derby is at 8 o'clock tonight. I myself not covering it. He's the Phillies guy. I'll put a link to his stream in right before I leave, so I'll get that ready to go. I don't think he's posted it yet, but he has posted it. So be sure to tune into him for play-by-play. So now we're going to end right here. We're going to get ready to go. I have to go take care of some stuff, but thank you so much for tuning into the first episode of the Live District Nation show. Thanks for Rhino for using the chat. Excited to see him in the stream. We got a like from him. Thank you so much. We got 2 likes total. Quickly, here's a link to play-by-play with JJ. That's his Home Run Derby stream. Be sure to tune into that. For a live stream of the Home Run Derby tonight, it's going to be on ESPN. Thank you so much for listening today. They're talking about the war leaders on OB Network. Quickly, James Wood is 5th on that list. Pretty good. 4.4. And Rising Rhino, you know it. Yep. We play-by-play with JJ, 8 p.m. And then tomorrow, I'm doing the All-Star game personally. Tomorrow for the Tuesday game, I'll be doing the All-Star game. I'll be on at 8 o'clock for the 8:10 start. Thank you so much for being here, Rhino. Thanks for being here, and we're about to end stream. Thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow.